What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Your boy Jay Stash back at it again, live from Whatnot Fan Expo Philadelphia. And where else but Whatnot would I have the opportunity to hear the signature story of Stephen Amell? Stephen, how are you today?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm excited to have you on the app. It is really cool to get you here signing some of the items. Remember, folks, if you couldn't make it to Fan Expo Philly this weekend, don't worry. We're bringing the con home to you. Check out that buy it now and the auction. They're going to be loaded with a bunch of different items from all the things that Stephen has been a part of. And, of course, they all coming with a Whatnot COA. That certificate of authenticity is going to be with every signed item. That way, it's real. You know that it happened. Check us out all weekend long. Be sure to bookmark the streams. We're going to be having a lot of other great celebrity guests on the show with us. But today, we've got Stephen here, and of course, he's been gracious with his time. So we'll get a couple of questions out of him. We'll figure out what's going on. How's that sound, Steve?
Sounds good to me.
Stephen, I'm not going to call you Steve. I said that to myself, like, don't shorten his name. Stephen it is.
6 of 1.
They
both work.
The Green Arrow, the Spectre, Oliver Queen himself. 170 episodes as the Green Arrow, man.
Uh-huh.
How did you feel? How was it?
170 episodes of Arrow. I think when you add in all the other episodes, we're probably up closer to what, like 190?
So many.
Someone, I'm sure someone has done the math.
There's a wiki page somewhere on it.
But yeah, 170 episodes. Technically 169. They didn't put me in the penultimate episode of the show. Made me very mad.
And made you upset?
Yeah, it did.
But I mean, you became a superhero, right? It's got to be a dream for you to play the role?
It wasn't a dream growing up. I mean, for me, my dream growing up was to be a pro athlete.
Okay.
I much would have played for the Phillies or the Blue Jays.
Get out of here, okay.
All that stuff, specifically in baseball.
Yeah.
But then, it is cool that I got to wear a superhero suit to work.
Something a little bit different. Yeah. You're a baseball fan naturally. Who's your team?
The Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays from Toronto. Okay, I had the chance to sit in the box last year when I was in Toronto and checked out the Blue Jays. Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan myself, so from the Bronx, I've been a little spoiled.
If you're from the Bronx and you're not a Yankees fan, there's something seriously wrong with you.
I mean, it's in the water. There's another team over there. I'm actually the only Yankee fan in my household, surprisingly.
No kidding. In the Bronx?
In the Bronx.
Mets fans in the Bronx, huh?
Full of Mets fans, man.
That's weird.
I have to constantly defend myself. It's ridiculous. As I've mentioned, we're getting all these items signed. Be sure to check out the buy it now and the auction. As I mentioned, I know that the Green Arrow is something that you've stepped into, and when you first got into it, man, you see the suit. What was that feeling like to know that this is something that I'm really going to be portraying?
Oh, I mean, you're really not thinking about that at the moment. The first times that I'm trying on the suit, I was at Colleen Atwood's house. She's an Academy Award-winning costume designer. She won for, I don't know if she won for Edward Scissorhands, but she's been a long-time collaborator with like Tim Burton.
Okay.
So I mean, she might have even had some work on the original Michael Keaton Batman suit, for all that I know.
Whoa,
but
okay.
You're not even really thinking about that at the time. It's just like, please don't let me look stupid.
Right.
I get really tense because it's like I got a hood to go on, but like I've got a giant head.
Yeah.
Hats never fit me and stuff like that. So you just sort of think to yourself like,
I can relate, man.
Please don't look stupid. And so, but then, I'm starting to get a little bit more of a feel for it now and just how important it was and impactful it was for certain people. Yeah.
I mean, I was definitely a week-to-week kind of guy myself when the Green Arrow was on every year. It was a tough road week to week, but I definitely enjoyed it. You had an amazing cast though alongside you, right? Emily Rickard, David Ramsey, Willa Holland.
Yep.
Walk me through growing as an actor when you have a consistent cast like that with you.
Well, I mean, that's one of my first memories from the show. Actually, would be that I remember being cast.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I remember getting a notification on Twitter that Katie Cassidy was following me.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of
that's
like out of nowhere.
Right away.
And I had auditioned for Melrose Place a couple of years before.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. And so anyway, I remember seeing Willa, who was a fan of, and like seeing her.
She's great.
Seeing her headshot up on the wall in the production office as we were getting ready to shoot the pilot, and then seeing Paul Blackthorne's face up there, who I loved on 24, and then I see David Ramsey, who I've just been watching on Dexter and it's
Blue
like,
Bloods,
holy shit.
Yeah, right?
Like, what is going on here? And then, of course, getting Jamie Sheridan and thinking back to the pilot. Yeah, it was all so cool.
It's got to be all so cool. And again, the story was so great. I mean, you got the Green Arrow comic book series, and now you're stepping in to give us the real-life rendition. Did you feel like a responsibility to stick to the comic book character, or do you just want to make it your own?
No, my responsibility was really focusing on what David Nutter wanted. David Nutter was our pilot director.
Yeah.
He's the most prolific pilot director in the history of television.
Yeah.
Just sort of pilots just off the bat. I mean, he did Smallville, he did Supernatural, he did Dark Angel, he did Arrow, he did The Flash. There's probably like
so many,
X-Files, right? Like you name it, he did it. So he had an idea for what he wanted from this pilot. From a thematic standpoint, they were leaning heavily on the Nolan Dark Knight films.
Right.
Which
is that gritty that you get,
Yeah, and so for me, it was just like, hey guys, I have ideas here, but my instincts for the character were pretty in line with what they were looking for, based off the audition process. Yeah. So I didn't feel a lot of pressure because I, luckily, didn't really grow up a Green Arrow fan.
I guess that is lucky, yeah.
Right, so I didn't really have this intimate relationship and all of these sort of preconceived notions as to what the character could be. So I could really just, as best I could, just put myself in the hands of David Nutter and Greg Berlanti and Mark Guggenheim and Andrew Kreisberg and the Jeff Johns at DC. Like everyone had an idea and had a piece, and as we moved through the series, did I make it more my own? Yeah, of course. But for the time being, I might as well have been a puppet.
Right, yeah. They tell you when you stand here on the X, this is where you got to be at.
Do this, do that. No, you still have to execute at the end of the day. But,
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I mean, I'm sure that it was really demanding on you. But one of the things that I loved that it kept me engaged season to season was the character development. Were there moments where you found that you were personally growing at the same time that Oliver was?
Yeah, I mean, look, I started the show... I had just turned 30. I was single,
living the dream, baby.
At the time, and then, by the second season, I was married, and I think during the 9th episode of the second season, our daughter was born.
God bless.
So things change. You take a little bit more ownership of the character. I mean, I know that, I grew professionally. I think both in terms of my skill level, as an actor, but you also grow professionally as someone that's used to, being the lead of a show and carrying that responsibility. And that first season, everything was brand new. Yeah. By the time I got to the 4th episode of the first season, I had worked more on Arrow than I had ever worked on anything.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the growth that came on the Arrow for you must have been something that kind of helped you in your career along the way, I'm sure.
And just stuff that happened naturally.
Yeah. And now wow, okay. Now we got a sign pop. Here we go. The green on green. We've got more of these items in the Buy It Now and the auction. Be sure to check out both. I think the Buy It Now may have sold out, but again, continue checking out for the auction. We're going to have Funko Pops. We've got out-of-box for our out-of-box collectors, and we've also got some comic books that we're going to be getting signed. For those of you just tuning in, we're sitting with Stephen Amell, known for the Green Arrow right now, but of course, if you haven't been watching Heels, you got to get in on it. Season 2 is coming. We're going to touch on that shortly, but keeping on the Green Arrow and the Arrowverse here, you, similar to Tyler Hoechlin, have had this role of bringing the CW and DC to the CW. Did you guys kind of find yourself working together at any point, you and Tyler?
Me and Tyler?
Yeah. You guys were really the first, besides Grant. I guess Grant was really there too in the initial.
Grant. Although, I've actually, my wife and daughter are rewatching Glee.
Are they?
I didn't realize he had such a big arc on that.
Grant does?
Yeah, he does.
No way.
Does. Yeah, he does.
Oh, I guess I got to go back and see that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's got to be good.
No, I mean, I working with Tyler, working with anyone. I just, there's a kinship with anyone that does DC.
Yeah. CW really owns it though now. I mean, it's been such a
they own
universe.
They own it. So now they've let it go.
They've let it go. Yeah. I mean, well, listen, we'll talk about that. But the beatdowns were brutal though, for sure. What did the prep work for those scenes entail, and One of the things that lacked for me as a fan was the scenes just weren't bloody enough. Did you feel the same way?
Oh,
They didn't make enough impact?
No, you're 100% right, man. I mean, listen, there were certain rules that we had that were a little frustrating, a little counterintuitive. Like in the series finale of Arrow, there's a sequence I must kill like 55 people. Right, and we're allowed to do that. I'm allowed to murder people with impunity. Yeah. But God forbid you show any blood.
One drop of blood and it's all out the window.
Big shit.
Network television.
One drop of blood. So it would be fun, I think, to eventually. There he is.
There he is. Yeah.
It would be fun to eventually revisit the character and do some of the things that I think everyone assumed that Oliver did, but we never got to show. Like. You know that he must have been like super into like compound fractures.
Oh my god! I mean,
and stuff like that.
The amount of acrobatics though that Oliver did, yeah, for sure. Compound fractures.
No, but I mean like giving people compound fractures.
Yes. Okay. My bad. Not clearly that Oliver took a toll, but yes, giving compound fractures must have been a pastime for him at that point.
Yeah. No, we never did that scene like they do in The Dark Knight Rises, where the doctor's like, no, and the cartilage in this knee is fine. He's like, oh, good. And he's like, that's because you have no cartilage in this knee.
That's the scene. Yeah. That's the scene. And a lot of the inspiration from The Dark Knight for, like you said, that grittiness, that dark character.
Yeah, that whole
vigilante.
That whole template.
But I mean, I got to say though, again, watching it from the perspective, it did a great job kind of getting you involved with the fight scenes and everything. So not terrible on that part. But of course, the series finale for me ended the right way. I think that was the way to go, But then I see you make another appearance on The Flash this season.
Yep.
And I hit a whole nother octave when you came on stream. We won't talk about how loud I screamed at home, but I got the sense that you just weren't done as the mass vigilante. Did you get closure now that you were back on The Flash this season? As the Spectre, not really.
No, I mean I got closure finishing the show when I finished our show.
Yeah.
Greg Berlanti called me up and he said, "Listen, you're one of the reasons why this show exists. Would you like to be a part of the conclusion of it?"
Wow.
And I said the thing that I think a lot of actors say, but I actually said this. I said, well, first of all, he said, "Don't worry about the money." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I've sorted out the money. Forget about the money. Just, do you want to come back?" And I said, "What's the story?"
Yeah, where do I fit in?
Like, what's the story? I'm like, "Is it the series finale?" And he goes, "No." I go, "Well, that's a start, because I don't want to be in the series finale."
It's his moment. It's Grant's moment.
It's Grant's moment,
Grant's
right?
moment, yeah.
And so he was like, "No, actually, you know what? Talk to the showrunner." So I talked to Eric Wallace, and he was just like, no. It's a random episode. It's Barry's birthday party, and we bring in Oliver, and you're gonna do like the fight and the Arrow stuff, but then the entire fifth act is this coda of you getting a nice scene with Grant, a nice scene with David, a nice moment with Candace, and I'm like,
but you did,
I'm like, done deal, man. Let's do it.
That was great, and it was definitely a moment that highlighted the direction that this season of The Flash is going with the finale and then having you in there. So I thought it was a really great send-off, especially the scene in the bar, which I won't ruin it for too many people, but
that was fun.
It just felt great. It just felt natural.
Yeah, so the Flash, the team behind The Flash was incredibly collaborative, because when I spoke with Eric, I mentioned, just coming up with ideas, because, they were kicking around the idea of me coming back in like the Spectre gear and stuff like that, and I was like, okay. And they're like, you just want to come back as Arrow? And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, the Spectre's awesome.
We're trying to play the hits and stuff like that. I get it.
Right.
And then I mentioned to him, I said, my favorite crossover was Elseworlds, when Barry and I swapped bodies.
So cool.
And my favorite scene in that, maybe my favorite scene that we've ever had between the two of us, was just the two of us sitting at a bar to end the crossover. And he was like, cool, we should do something like that.
Nice, let's run it back.
That's exactly
what we did. Well, I mean, speaking of appearances, obviously Peter Safran and James Gunn, named co-CEOs for DC Studios. The DCU is ramping up to make some noise. Is you portraying the Green Arrow on screen one of the missing pieces for the universe?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Those guys, the DCEU, they need to decide if they think that they're better than television or if they want to participate. Because I get mixed messages, which to me just signals that, like, Like, I don't know. You guys do your own thing. We did our thing. We don't. I mean, we
let it go.
Listen,
Tell it all.
As of right now,
Yeah.
like, first of all, I wish everyone nothing but the best.
Of course.
I want nothing more than amazing movies. But right now, they need us a lot more than we need them.
Dude, you're the Green Arrow. You know what I mean? I mean, there's got to be, for me, of course, you and Grant being friends, there's got to be something about not seeing him portray the Flash after all of the, you know what I mean?
It has nothing. It has nothing to do with that. You know, I'm a custodian for Oliver Queen, and he's the custodian for Barry Allen. In the same way that I don't think anyone's asking us asking Tom Welling how he feels about who's going to play the new Superman.
True.
And
you're right.
You know,
you're right.
Now I get the proximity and stuff like that, but there will be another Oliver Queen.
There will be.
There will, and it'll be new and cool and exciting. And however much the internet hates it is probably probably a direct indication as to how good it's going to be.
I can speak for the internet right here, right now. We're gonna hate it.
Yeah,
completely.
but everyone. It's
gonna have different opinions.
anyone that's been like halfway decent, like Christian Bale was cast. They're like the dude from The Machinist, and then Heath Ledger was cast, and they're like, wait, the guy, the girl from 10 Things I Hate About You. It's like no. It's like, believe me, the more mad the internet, the better job that everyone's probably done.
Right. The more press it's gonna get to. I'm sure.
Well, no, but also too, it's like you got to remember that these people aren't picked at random. You know, like very, very smart people think long and hard about like how they're going to go about this. And I'm sure that whoever they pick, if in fact they do, maybe they don't care about the character. I don't know.
Right.
We'll do an amazing job.
Yeah, there's going to be a rendition on there that is going to fit in the best way that it can. And like you said, it's going to be one of those things that you got to be good with the part you played and just be happy with what comes out of it, right?
100%.
Again, live here from Fan Expo Philly. I'm sitting with Stephen Amell. We're talking about the Green Arrow. We're talking about the DCEU. And, of course, we're signing some Funko Pops at the moment and other items. Check them out in the Buy It Now and the auction. You guys are going to get a chance to bring the con home to you if you didn't get a chance to make it here. Shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk about something that I've been really excited to kind of get on my watch list. It's Heels, man. Season 2 is coming out July 28th.
Yep.
Where can people watch it? Give me a little bit of info for the people that don't know what Heels is.
So if you're watching in North America, it's the Stars. It's on Stars. Stars has an app. App is excellent. It's not just Heels, right? If you download Stars, you're getting a lot of cool movies, a lot of cool original series. Yeah. I mean, their movies overall are good. Like, I had Stars before I had a show.
I did too.
On Stars. I mean, I had Stars way back going into Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
Damn, I mean, that's throwback.
It is throwback.
That's like when you were changing on the cable box. It was like in the 80s. It's all those upper channels. It's pay-per-view, Star, Showtime.
Occasional maybe a little adult.
Well, after 9 o'clock, be careful now. Careful what channel you change it to now.
It's just,
you just dated yourself.
You're 12, 13 years old. You want to see a boob? You're going to Stars.
That's the truth. That's the truth. From the era where you can text for free after 7 o'clock and watch it and get a free boob after 9 o'clock. That's the era that we're from, baby. Now, as a Spade, I know that it's got to be really exciting for you to play Heels. Do you have a love for wrestling and a passion for it? And I know you said you want to be an athlete.
Yeah, man. I loved sports growing up, but my absolute go-to growing up, my favorite thing in the world was professional wrestling.
That's amazing to see what you're doing with it now. Then.
So to be able to get to chop it up in the ring and stuff like that, and just in general be have friends in the business now, and I get to still enjoy it, but I get to enjoy it from a different perspective.
Right, and now you talk about your friends that are going to be involved in it. I know CM Punk was in season 1, looking to come back in season 2.
CM Punk as Ricky Rabies has a heavy involvement in season 2 of Heels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is there any collaboration with WWE or AEW to try and promote season 2? Could we see you in the ring with CM Punk?
We have talked about various avenues for promoting the second season of the show. Okay. I mean, obviously, we're a little less than 2 months away from it coming out, so we still have a little bit of time, but we're kicking around some ideas. I mean, obviously, if Cody was still with AEW, it'd be pretty awesome. Cut and dry that we would do something with AEW. Yeah. Now we got Phil, who's CM Punk, who's on the show with AEW. We got Cody back in WWE. So I have a connection with Phil. I have a connection with Cody. I haven't done anything with AEW. I've done stuff with WWE.
Yes.
AEW feels like it might be a little bit more of a natural path right now, but I also am involved in a project for the WWE that comes out right around the same time that the second season of Heels comes out. So it's like, man, I don't know.
It's like a bunch of great problems to have.
These are champagne problems, right?
Here, I was gonna say the bubble is rising, baby. But yeah, that's great to hear the CM Punk, and I mean he's returning to the ring, and seeing all that. How do you feel for your friend? Is it a great moment to see after everything that he's been through, kind of come back?
Yeah, I'm excited to have him come back. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of drama and stuff like that, but. The reason that he's been away for as long as he has been was because he tore his tricep tendon.
Yeah, nothing small.
Which is, believe me, he and I are either roughly the same age. He might be a little older than I am. I might be a bit older than him, actually. I'm not sure, but I also know how things are healing at my age versus how they healed in my early 20s. So he's just he's taking his time. We worked out on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
it's leg day.
Okay,
I'm still sore.
Don't skip it.
Don't skip leg day.
Don't skip it. We're here sitting with Stephen Amell again. We're getting ready to wrap a couple of things up, getting to know him. He's been so gracious with his time. I guess I got to ask you, you're involved in so many things, and you talk about all the projects, and you're involved. What's that work-life balance look like? You're a dad, you're a husband. How do you maintain this all?
Well, one day at a time.
Yeah. Taking it easy.
My son just turned 1.
Beautiful.
So that's created a variety of new challenges because my daughter's going to be 10 in October.
Wow.
So, we had just kind of gotten out of that kid grind.
Yeah. And now here we are again.
For reasons that escape my wife and I right now, I decided we love our son very much.
Of course.
But Jesus Christ.
Listen, dude, my daughter's 2 right now. So my daughter's 2 right now, so I get it.
No, it's good. No, the balance is good. I just spend a lot of time away. A lot.
Yeah.
My daughter was born during the second season of the show, and I would go for long stretches where, maybe I see her for a second in the morning, and maybe then briefly on the weekend. So just trying to enjoy. She and I do mornings. I take her to school.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's about being present when you can be.
100%.
Yeah, being present when you can be. Well, I mean, I know people are going to be excited to see you here at the con. Where else can people see you in the upcoming months, man?
Well, I'm going to be...
Give us your full schedule, your social security card, and maybe your Google Calendar.
Well, for cons, I'm going to be in Phoenix tomorrow, believe it or not.
Quick turnaround here in Philly.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be in Denver on the 1st of July.
We'll be there, too.
I will be in Montreal on July 15th.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Raleigh at GalaxyCon at the end of July.
That's a good one.
And then Boston, the Fan Expo Boston, the first weekend of August. And then that's it for... Well, that's enough for now. But then also I'm going to be around. I'm probably going to be going back to San Diego Comic-Con for the first time since 2019 to promote the second season of Heels.
Nice.
And then that's going to come out July 28th. So you're around. I'm going through that phase right now where I'm going to be like, you might want to mute me in your feed.
No.
Because I'm out promoting shit.
We'll keep you around for sure. And
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for taking the time here today. Obviously, I know you're super busy. Your lines are probably crazy. As a way of signing off, I usually just say, hey, I'm Jay Stash, and I'm sitting here with, and you'll say your name, all right? You ready to do the sign off?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Where else but whatnot would I have had the opportunity to hear Stephen Amell's signature story, and it's been an absolutely great one. Signing off here from Fan Expo Philly, I'm Jay Stash.
And from Fan Expo Philly, I'm Stephen Amell.
Have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.